Okay, good morning, everybody, and many thanks for making time for being with us today. It's a long time we don't see each other, so I'm super happy to see you because I miss you all and I really miss that we cannot meet in person this year. So good morning and welcome to our sixth meeting of the NENA Soil Partnership. Our agenda is a bit busy today. We have many presentations and let me quickly go through the agenda so that we are all on the same page. So today we will have our chair, Iman from Iraq, to open the meeting together with Ronald. Ronald Vargas is the GSP secretary that is talking to us from Bolivia, so really from the other side of the world. After that, I will give you, I cannot say a short presentation because I have many things to tell you, but like a presentation on the GSP developments of regional interest. I think you will find it actually very interesting. And then we will hear from all of you. So what have you been doing in the last year? So some updates. And I would like to ask the presenter of from the countries to please introduce participants to this meeting from your country, because in some cases we have more than one participant from each country. So please introduce also your colleagues that are with us today and hopefully tomorrow. Then tomorrow, it will be very interesting. We have the pillar chairs to tell us a bit their ideas for the future. So we will discuss proposals. And this links to a very good news I have for you. You remember that the last meeting we discussed, so in April 2019, we discussed the writing of a TCP proposal, project proposal. So these are FAO funds. And well, most of you wrote letters of support to this project, and ultimately we got it. So now it's time to start implementing the project. And tomorrow we will have the project launch meeting indeed with the leading technical officer for this project, introducing you all to the project. And then we will give you space for asking questions on how we can implement it and all the questions you might have regarding implementation of the project. So I hope you are all fine with this agenda. I would like now to give the floor to Ms. Iman Sahib Salman, the Near East and North Africa Soil Partnership Chair. So Iman, the floor is yours. Please unmute your microphone. Iman, we cannot hear you yet.
Yes. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, good afternoon. Thanks God for safety for everyone. I hope all are doing well. Initially, I appreciate GSP Secretary Ms. Lucrezia to allow me present some words in this important meeting under the impact of COVID-19 on food security in the region. I think although the impact of COVID-19, which limited the activities of the fifth pillar of GSP in our region, but some important activities has been achieved this year, in particular with regards to pillar 3 to 5. The most important issues are editorial board of the Soil Atlas of Asia and an international very important network on salt-affected soils to support and facilitate effort toward the sustainable management of salt-affected soils for food security. Agricultural sustainability and climate change and mitigation after produced global soil salinity map, which our national soil maps is part of it, as well as the activities of a global soil laboratory, which contains many questionnaires, virtual meeting, and establishment of national soil laboratories. We wish and look through this meeting activation the activities of Pillar 1 and 2, especially TC projects, and I think we will achieve this, inshallah. Finally, my best wish and prayer to complete this work, inshallah, with health and safety for all. Many thanks with my highly appreciate.
Many thanks, Iman, for your speech and the opening words. Now I would like to give the floor to Ronald for the greetings from FAO side. Ronald, the floor is yours. We cannot hear you.
Oh, I can. Okay. Good day to everyone. It is really a pleasure from my side to be part of this meeting now. I would like to, of course, thank you all for joining this meeting. We know that this time is very challenging for everyone, and I'm sure hopefully next year we will be able to be all together in a meeting in a not virtual but in a presential way. So I would like to thank Dr. Iman Salhem from Iraq, who's the chair of this partnership, for trying to keep this partnership alive and moving forward to the agreed work plan. And to all of you who are focal points to the GSP and especially to the Near East and North African Soil Partnership. Without you, of course, there will not be any partnership and there will not be any work on soils moved together as a region. I also want to greet my colleagues from the sub-regional offices and the regional office for the Near East, who are also part of this meeting. This meeting is very important because what we want to do is to review progress made, but especially what else we can do in order to move forward. We are here together to talk about soils, and in this region in particular, although a lot of focus is on water because, you know, water scarcity is a huge issue, we should not forget that soils plays a fundamental role as well. And that's why we are glad that together you all requested for support financially from FAO to do something together on soils. And you will see that the next day you will be introduced to the technical cooperation project focused on the capacity development for the sustainable soil management of soil resources in the NENA region. This is not a big project, but it's a big effort in order for all of you together to move forward to work on sustainable soil management. From our side, of course, we would try to support you much technically in order to see how we can advance, but all together, because the differences are our strength. And I want to thank all those countries, focal points who have been supporting from letters to the content of this project. So that's already a success, and we are trying to see how else we can help you and support you. The work on soil salinity is crucial for the region, and that's why you will see through a presentation by Lucrecia, where are we with the different activities in the region, talking about the Global Soil Partnership per se. One of the most active activities in this period was the salt-affected soils mapping effort. And there you will see that although we try to bring all countries together in terms of training or methodologies to map, so far we still need to get many countries on board. So I hope after this meeting, you will be joining this effort because it is very important that before we agree to manage saline soils, first we understand where are they, what is the extent and severity, and then based on this, we start focusing on approaches and techniques to manage, to reverse, etc. We cannot manage something that we don't know. So that's why we are trying to map these salt-affected soils. And I hope you will join us. And if you need further training, further capacity development, please let us know. We will be more than glad to support you. But of course, sustainable soil management goes beyond. And we, for instance, have this initiative called Recarbonization of Global Soils, where we can also see an opportunity for working together. allow me to conclude that we will be able to have not only this project, but we can have even more projects if we are all together and working and committed. So I really hope that all this group and your commitment will be still there. So during this meeting, it is very important that you are very, let's say, sincere on what are the needs and what are the proposals to move forward. We will try to support and we will try to accommodate, but definitely there is interest from our regional officer, especially who's located in Cairo, to move forward and work on sustainable soil management, because as I said before, a lot has been always focused in water. This is the first time that we are really focusing on soils. And I think this is a very good opportunity, and this can open more doors, but it will be open only if we are all together and we have commitment from all countries pertaining in this region. So I really hope we will be having all your buy-in. And I'm sure, thanks to Lucrecia, you will be part of this. I wish you a successful meeting, and we really hope we will have very good results, especially in terms of way forward for the near future. Thanks a lot, and have a nice meeting.
Many, many thanks, Ronald, for your nice words and encouraging words, especially. Indeed, this is the first time that we get a TCP project on soil, which is just great for the region. So now I would like to ask you to please turn your cameras on and give us your best smile. We are taking pictures. Well, the only picture we can take. Filippo, will you take the picture for us?
Yes, sure.
So big smile.
Everybody with the camera on, please. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, done.
Perfect. Many thanks. Now we quickly move to the next item in the agenda. Just give me a second to share my screen. I hope you can all see. So this presentation is actually about the GSP developments of regional interest. I organized them in pillars as per your presentations, now the one I asked you to give. So the first pillar is about sustainable soil management in general. I'm telling you this because some national focal points are actually new to the GSP. So just to inform you that the pillar one is about the overall achievement of sustainable soil management. The things the GSP are working on now under pillar one especially are the protocol on sustainable soil management. Well, this is a protocol for assessing whether a management practice is sustainable according to the definition of sustainable soil management in the voluntary guidelines for sustainable soil management. And the assessment is based on the use of a set of chemical, physical, and biological indicators. The protocol was endorsed by a special session of the GSP Plenary Assembly in September 2020, and now the GSP is currently finalizing the annex to the protocol that is about field and laboratory soil analysis. However, the final document will be published by the end of 2020. So we hope to have it online quite soon. In terms of implementation, so how you can actually contribute to this activity, at this moment, we are looking for ongoing projects on sustainable soil management that countries would like to have evaluated through the protocol. So if you're interested in this activity, please write an email to my colleague, Ms. Carolina Oliveira. I put here her email address. However, please note that all the presentation we will give during these 2 days of meetings will be available online. So you can retrieve information also by downloading the presentations, basically. Then another activity under Pillar 1 is the implementation of the Fertilizer Code. This is a document endorsed by the 44th session of the FAO conference in 2019. And it is a response to the COAG 25 recommendation for FAO to intensify its food safety work and technical support to smallholders at the local level concerning the safe use of fertilizers and pesticides. Still, it answers requests in terms of sustainable development goals and the UNEA 3 resolution on managing soil pollution to achieve sustainable development. Now, the document was officially launched through a webinar in May 2020. You might have attended this webinar too. And in terms of implementation of activities, my colleagues are still working on this. However, we already have 2 activities that relate to the implementation of the codes, that are the launch of the International Network on Fertilizer Analysis, INFA, that will be on the 8th and 9th of December. And INFA will operate under the Global Soil Laboratory Network. This is actually an activity under my responsibility, INFA. So all of you that are registered to Glossolan, so that have a laboratory registered to Glossolan, should have already received the registration link to the meeting. And also all those that express an interest to work on INFA over the year, because this is something we started to think about in 2019 already. In case you are interested to attend the meeting but did not receive the registration link and do not know how to retrieve it, please send me an email and I will send you the registration link so that you can be with us at the beginning of December. Still, my colleague in charge of implementing this code will also send a survey about basically the prioritization of activities to implement in each region in terms of fertilizers management. So this is another colleague of mine called Vinisa. So please answer email and complete the survey when she sends it. I think that in your case, I will send you the link to complete the survey. Pillar 2. So in Pillar 2, we have something very nice, that is the World Soil Day. Most of the countries already contacted us and are organizing events on the World Soil Day. I would like to remind you to please enter information on your event on the World Soil Day website, so that the event also shows in the map, and it's a way also to advertise it. You can also consult the map for information to know what event is organized in what country. And any question you might have on the World Soil Day, request for FAO participation to your events and so on, can be sent to the World Soil Day mailbox. That is the one that I'm showing you here in the screen. Another activity under Pillar 2 regards policy, and it's about SoilX. So SoilX is the GSP newest tool on soil governance. Basically, it's an online global database specifically on soil protection and soil degradation prevention legal instruments. And we are creating it to facilitate access to information on the existing legal instruments in force and bridge the gap between the various soil stakeholders. You can also use this tool to take inspiration from other countries and trigger the development of new policy tools in your country. In terms of specific objectives, well, it has that of supporting the development of adequate soil legislation as a contribution to sustainable soil management, enhance the capacity of national, regional, local authorities and other stakeholders in soil legislation, develop new knowledge, documenting existing good practices, identifying and adapting tools in relevance to soil threats, and ultimately to empower the civil society by giving them access to legislative materials. The SoilX will be ready in December 2020 on the FAO platform, online platform, and in January 2021, the GSP is planning to have a webinar for its official launch. so that you will have more detailed information on how it works and how to use it. Although we are at the last stages of development of the tool, you can still contribute to it by responding to a questionnaire on national soil legislations for those of you that did not do it already or that have to update the information on your country profile. Still support the update and growth of SoilX, so please contact my colleague in charge. These are Natalia Rodriguez and Hugo Boyce for keeping the information updated. Promote the tool at the country level, and also if you have experience in soil legislation, you can join the working group on SoilX. We have a concept note and a preliminary work plan that I will send you by the end of today, actually by the end of this meeting by email. Please note that the working group is mainly composed by experts in legislation, so not soil scientists. But as I mentioned before, you can still join the working group if you have some legislation knowledge. And also please share this information with those experts you think that would suit the working group and give a contribution to it. Another activity under Pillar 2 is the implementation of the Global Soil Doctor program. So this program was launched on the 5th of October 2020. It refers to a farmer-to-farmer training initiative to be implemented by local promoters with the GSP support on a volunteer basis. And interested farmers in the community will receive a general training. Then a few selected farmers that are called soil doctors will receive a higher level training and will be provided with a toolbox that includes an implementation manual, a soil testing method manual, and educational material. Still, the soil doctors will receive a soil testing kit that the GSP is currently testing in a few pilot countries. So we are testing the kit together with the overall program in a few pilot countries still. The GSP is preparing a short survey to collect the names of those interested to implement the program. I know that some of you over the years, because this is an activity we have been discussing for quite some years already, but finally we had it launched, already expressed an interest to implement and work on this program. So I would like to ask you again to please resubmit your expression of interest by completing the survey. The survey will be sent to all national focal points, in this case, I think again through me as your regional coordinator by the end of November. However, the contact person for this activity is still another colleague of mine, that is Carolina Oliveira, the same lady that is in charge of the protocol for sustainable soil management. And all those completing the survey will be contacted by the GSP for developing a country-specific implementation plan of the program. We now move to Pillar 3, and we start by talking about salinity. Now, you remember that last year, we discussed, actually at our last meeting, we discussed the establishment of an international network on salt-affected soils called INSAS. Well, the good news is that the plenary assembly last year approved the proposal to establish such network, and the network was actually launched in November 2019 during the Forum on Innovations for Marginal Environments organized by ICBA, by the International Center for Biosaline Agriculture. Why we established this network? Well, to join efforts to face the challenge of sustainably managed salt-affected soils, especially in your region, so in the NENA region, and in Eurasian countries that are the ones that suffer the most salt-affected soils problems. Specific objectives include to provide a platform for countries with salt-affected soils to discuss common issues, to foster collaboration among these countries and promote sustainable soil management, and to serve as a platform for knowledge sharing and technical cooperation. In terms of work plan, the first INSAS meeting will be in January-February 2021. We are organizing this meeting to better define the work plan of INSAS and to agree on its governance, no? So additional information on the meeting will be sent to all national focal points soon. In this case, again, through me, I think. And if not done yet, I would like to ask all countries and organizations willing to join and contribute to the work of INSAS to please send an email to my colleague Filippo Benedetti, that is also in this meeting, by the way. And here is the email address so that we start identifying the members of INSAS. So all the clear work plan is still to be developed because this will be defined at the first meeting. I would like to mention some of the activities that are already ongoing on the topic of salt affected soils. The first one is the development of the global soil salinity map that will be launched in 2021. The writing of the global status of soil affected soils. So this is a book that all of you have a chapter in, as far as I know, and that will be published together with the global soil salinity map again in 2021. And ultimately, the organization of the Global Symposium on Salt Affected Soils. This is a symposium that should have taken place in 2020 already, but that because of COVID, we had to postpone to September 2021. And it will be held in Uzbekistan. Another activity under Pillar 3 is the writing of the Soil Atlas of Asia. Well, this is an activity that started in March 2018 and initially focused on Asian countries only. However, we are kindly asking countries in the Near East, because this is the geographical coverage of the Atlas. So only 4 countries in the Near East that already received emails from my side, because I already wrote you about it, to please nominate your experts in the editorial board and revise your country profile. I sent you an email about it. Well, I sent you the country profile yesterday, I believe, or on Monday. So please check the information under your country profile and overall in your region, if you like. We already received many inputs and feedback, so many thanks for that. And just to let you know that the expected publication date is December 2021. So please nominate your experts in the editorial board. This is really for national focal points to do it, and review your country profile. The 4th editorial board meeting is next week. We are dedicating 1 day per each sub-region covered by the Atlas. So the day dedicated to countries in the Near East is the 26th of November from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. chat, so Rome time. And then on the 27th of November, we have a plenary session. So all regions together to discuss common issues. The main topics of the meeting is that of harmonization of borders and finalization of WRB and other thematic maps on soil. And still review indeed the country profiles and plan who will write what other sections in the Atlas. Pillar 4, and this brings us also to the end of this presentation. You know that under Pillar 4, the GSP is developing several maps. We started with the global soil organic carbon maps, and we are now working on the global soil salinity map. In terms of developing the global soil salinity map, we already produced the guidelines and technical specifications for the development of the map, the technical manual and training material, and we already did the capacity development component. So we already organized regional trainings on digital soil mapping on soil salinity. We are still working with countries for finalizing and retrieving their national maps. And well, the compilation of the final map is still a bit pending, because indeed we are waiting to have all national maps to put together and harmonize borders. And also the writing of the technical report related to the map is pending, because we are waiting for the final products. What we are also doing at present is to write a report on the global status of soil affected soil. So this is already in progress. Now, the training on digital soil salinity mapping for the Near East and North Africa was organized in December 2019 in Tunisia. However, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Egypt, Qatar, Kuwait, and United Arab Emirates did not attend the meeting. So the request to these countries is to please contact my colleague, Mr. Cristiano Muto. Here you have his email address for doing a follow-up to this activity, please. And the GSP is also available to organize a special training session for these countries, but also to all other NENA countries that are still to submit their soil salinity maps or would like to get another training on the topic. So we can organize this training if you want. Please contact my colleague Christian. Immediate action, please submit your national soil salinity map as soon as possible. My colleagues are really pressing on this point because the deadline was the end of August 2020. So please either send them the map or send them at least an update so that they know the stage of development of your national map. This is an overview of well, the countries that already delivered the map. In this case, we have Sudan and Iraq. In yellow, in orange, sorry, you have countries that in which we know that the finalization of the map is ongoing. So we have Morocco, Tunisia, Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Yemen, and Oman, and the United Arab Emirates, as far as I can see. And those that are pending, so for which we don't have news or the map is still a bit in the air, are the countries in red. So please contact my colleague and send him an update. So action to take, additional action to take in terms of salinity are to please send your book chapter for the global status of salt affected soils by the 15th of December. So please also in this case note that we are extending the original deadline. And again, as far as I know, and also my colleagues inform me about, each country has a chapter assigned. And the book, as mentioned before, will be published together with the global soil salinity map. Your contribution should be sent to Mr. Filippo Benedetti, my colleague, and to Mr. Cristiano Omuto. A note on a vacancy, potential vacancy. We are looking actually for an expert on the topic of salt affected soils that will not work only on mapping. Actually, mapping is taken care by my mapper colleagues, but we really need of an expert on the topic to help with the international network on salt affected soils. So please, if you are interested or you know someone that might be interested to work for the GSP and FAO on INSAS, please send your applications to Ronald. Another map we are currently starting to develop is that on the soil organic carbon sequestration. So this map will be prepared as per all other maps that the GSP is taking care of. So it's the process is country driven, continuous and participatory. Why we are investing in making a carbon sequestration map? Well, to fill a big gap, simulate soil organic carbon stocks over a 20 years period in agricultural lands and quantify the soil organic carbon sequestration potential under different sustainable soil management and business as usual scenario at national scale. This will eventually give us a global perspective and understanding of critical role of soils in major soil global issues. This is an overview of the stages of development of the map. So we started in 2019 with planning how to develop this map. In terms of technical development, well, we work on these this year, so in 2020. We prepare a cookbook, so a technical manual, the modeling environment, the script, and the training material. The technical specification and country guidelines for this product are already available online. And here I put you the link to which you can download the document if you do not have it already. And this document includes the product specifications, the procedures, the data requirements, data sources, quality assurance and quality check, data policy, and the delivery process. So all the information are compiled in this document. We are now starting to work in the next steps of development of the map, that is the one on training, so capacity building. My colleagues are organizing a 30 hours course divided into 2 modules, so 5 days per module. Right now, we are organizing the training for the Near East. Wait, this is in the next slide, sorry. So the first thing I would like to ask you to do is to please nominate your experts to work on these assignments, on the preparation on the carbon sequestration map. At present, we are still missing the nominees from the countries that you see here on screen. So Algeria, Egypt, Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Libya, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Yemen. So all countries that are listed on these slides are please asked to submit the name of their experts to work on this assignment at the link on screen. Again, this is a visual representation on the status of nominations for this work. As you see, most of the countries are in red. We received nominations only from Morocco, Tunisia, Syria, and Sudan. Information updated to last night. So I don't know if any of you submitted their nominations meanwhile. But please submit your nominees as soon as possible, because as I was starting to say before, we are organizing the training of the first module for the preparation of this map. And the training is scheduled on 7 to 11 of December 2020. So it's quite soon. All nominated experts will receive an email with all required information and training material. Again, for those of you that did not nominate your experts for the International Network of Soil Information Institutes, please send your nomination, again, through the link I showed you before, and by sending also an email to my colleague Yusuf. What is INSI? For those of you that do not know it, INSI is a network of experts and institutions that have the mandate to develop the global soil information systems and also other tasks in the framework of implementing the plan of action for Pillar 4. So these institutions have the technical ability to develop and share selected national soil information and data. At present, countries that still have to nominate their expert in INSI are Egypt, Kuwait, Libya, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and United Arab Emirates. So I would like to ask these countries to please nominate your expert. For all of you that would like to review your nominee, please do it at the same link and again by writing to my colleague Yusuf. Last, Pillar 5. Pillar 5 is about harmonization of methods, measurement, and indicator for sustainable management and protection of soil resources. Now, in Pillar 5, the thing that we are doing the most is the work on the harmonization of laboratory methods and data. We are doing this through the Global Soil Laboratory Network that was established in 2017 to build and strengthen the capacity of laboratories in soil analysis and to respond to the need for harmonizing soil analytical methods and data. More information are at the GLOSOLAN webpage. It's a very informative and updated webpage, so please consult it. There are also frequently asked questions, so you can get all the information you want in there. If still you have doubts, you can write me an email because this activity is under my responsibility. So we have 4 major areas of work in GLOSOLAN. The first one refers to quality assurance and quality control. So we work on the execution of external quality control. We organize proficiency testing exercise. We organize training on the execution of internal quality control. Then we harmonize the standard operating procedure. This is another major area of work for us. And we organize trainings on the documents we produced. And trainings also include training on health and safety. In terms of equipment, we produce training material on equipment use, maintenance, and purchasing. And this year also we started to organize some webinars on the topic. And then we established a donation and bartering system to really physically increase the capacity of laboratories in soil analysis. Still under this component, we have our initiative on soil spectroscopy. It's something we started to work in April this year, and the first plenary meeting on soil spectroscopy that well-defined the Glossolan work plan on the topic was in September 2020. The last topics that we are starting to work on is fertilizer analysis. And this refers to the invite I gave you before on please participate to the launch meeting of the International Network on Fertilizers Analysis on 8 and 9 December 2020. At present, the network counts almost 600 registered laboratories, of which 61 belongs to the Near East and North Africa. The network for the region is called the NENA Lab and was established in June 2020. During that meeting, we also defined the governance of the network. It has a chair from Morocco, Mr. Abdelmajid Zouari, that will be with us tomorrow. I don't know if he's with us already, but tomorrow he will be with us and he will really tell us what the network has done and will be doing in next year. And then we have two vice chairs. These also follow the governance of the NENA Soil Partnership. We have a vice chair for the Near East that is from Syria, and the vice chair for North Africa that again is from Morocco. The network works at 3 different levels, so global, regional, and national. You have Glossolan as global network, NENA Lab as regional network, and then what we call NASOLANs, so these national soil laboratory networks to operate at the national level. All national focal points to the Global Soil Partnership were asked to nominate one laboratory, so only one, in your country to serve as national reference laboratory. And this laboratory is the one tasked to lead the establishment of the National Soil Laboratory Network. So I would like to ask you to please spread the voice on Glossolan and NENA Lab and motivate laboratories to register to the network. You can tell them to send me an email and I will follow up with them. Countries in NENA that still miss a national reference laboratory are the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Kuwait, Libya, and Qatar. So I would like to ask these the national focal points for these countries to please identify the national reference laboratory. Again, only one per country. National reference laboratory should be identified based on a set of criteria. You don't need to find a laboratory that meets all of them, but a laboratory that is, let's say, the one that meets most of the criteria or is the best qualified to take this role. This is the link to the document in which the criteria are listed. Another thing I would like to ask you for is to please politically and if possible through your political work to please financially support the laboratory registering Glossolan from your country and your national reference laboratory, especially because right now we are working with these labs to establish the national soil laboratory networks that really require quite some support. And this work is important not only in terms of harmonizing methods of analysis, but also for mapping activities. There are many interactions with the availability and comparability of soil databases. So this is all. I'm sorry it took longer than expected, but as you can see, I had many things to inform you about. I don't know if there are any questions. You can either raise your hand or write in the chat. If not, well, as mentioned in the presentation, I will follow up on most of the issues by email with you. If there are no further questions, I would move to the agenda, actually to the country presentations. Okay, so As far as I know, colleagues from Algeria and Bahrain are not here. I'm particularly concerned about Algeria because it has been a long time I don't hear from Majed. So if any of you has news or is in contact with him, can you please tell him to send me an email with an update, because I'm a bit concerned about his absence in our activities. So the first presentation, I would like to ask, well, the national focal point to give is the one from Egypt. So Mr. Ala El Babli, are you with us? Egypt.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. So first of all, let me introduce you to participants because you are new to the group. You are the new focal point for Egypt to the GSP. So a very big welcome to you. We are so happy to have you because we miss your country over the years so much. So you are very welcome to our team. And now I give you the floor to give the presentation. I don't have a copy of your presentation, so I believe you will just play it from your computer. Right?
Is it okay?
Is it appear now?
No, we cannot see it yet.
Activate.
Or if you want to send it to me by email, then we can play it for you.
Okay.
Okay.
So I wait for your email, and meanwhile, I give the floor to Iran. Again, I don't have the presentation from Iran, and I believe Mr. Mirzavant will present. Iran, are you with us?
Hello, everybody.
Hi,
do you hear me?
Yes, so nice to see you.
Thank you very much. I would like to say you about the presentation of Iran. We were supposed to prepare a presentation of Iran, and we decided to present the PowerPoint by Mr. Mirzavand. Unfortunately, I cannot contact with him, and he is not with us right now. If it's possible for you, do you can postpone our presentation time,
Yes.
and I will try to contact him and come back to you.
No problem. Thanks so much for the update. So
Thank
we
you.
move to Iraq. I have the presentation from Iraq. So Iman, the floor is yours again. Please let me know if you would like to share your screen or if you would like us to play the presentation for you.
Okay, I will attempt to share the screen, Ms. Rodriguez.
So we share it?
Yes.
Okay, Filippo, can you please share?
She said she wants to share.
Ah, okay, perfect, better. So Iman, the floor is yours.
Okay. Is it appear?
Yes.
Yes.
I will share it. Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. I will start my presentation. The main activities implemented in our country under Pillar 1. As you know, the main two activities are the voluntary guidelines for sustainable soil management and the TCP project. As mentioned Ms. Lucrezia, and our hope in this session, this session will be activated this activity. I think in my country, I think the protocol of the assessment of sustainable soil management, which developed by GSP and its ITPS at the 8th session of the GSP Plenary Assembly in June 2020, this protocol, which considered the supporting of provisions, service, and ground biodiversity, water quality and quantity, and increased carbon sequestration. We in our country delivered some notes about it to the GSP secretary, and the second one attended the 5th GSP plenary assembly from 3 to 5 June 22, virtually using Zoom platform. As I know, I attend some international scientific seminar of World Day of Desertification organized by the Center of Desert Studies in the University of Anbar in cooperation with ACSAD, many universities in Iraq and Egypt, beside of Ministry of Agriculture in Tunisia. This seminar focused on sustainable management method and neutralizing land degradation. About the main activity in our country under Pillar 2, as you know, we have a national working group for GSP in our in my country. This national group coordination with the Directorate of Agriculture Extension and Training, which its aim build farmers' knowledge abilities through extension activities and training courses, capacity building of the workers in agriculture and the governor, transfer new agriculture technologies through cooperation with universities and research center. And this directorate provides information by website and social media, TV and radio program, publication, extension article. So the training courses with which implemented with cooperation with this directory and field days about the importance of soil and water tests before planting, integrated management of irrigation and fertilization, or the rule of laser leveling and zero tillage. Excuse me, the photo is the opposite of the, maybe the last one is the laser leveling and zero tillage is the first one, and its role in conserving the soil resource. The use of salt-tolerant crops and forage and its effect on neutralizing land degradation, the importance of modern mechanization in agriculture and modern irrigation system, besides of farmers feed school of protected agriculture in greenhouses. About what we will, our country do on World Soil Day. As you know, we celebrating World Soil Day from 2015 to 2019 through invited specialized from different ministries, institutions, through presented some presentation of the event, documentaries, films, exhibition of logo and photos, and distributed this event in the website of my ministry and other ministries. So in this year, we evaluation of the 8th nominees of the Janinka World Soil Day and evaluation form of Soil World Day. On this year, 2020, we will awareness of the soil diversity through distributing flyers through website and communication sites between ministry and institution in my country. And if it is possible, we will have a national meeting in my ministry, invited other specialists in other ministries and institutions, like the previous years. About Pillar 3, we have a virtual workshop about Soil Atlas of Asia through WRB and Soil Taxonomy Classification, which hold from 25 to 26 June. Attend 6th International Information of Soil Information workshop, which hold from 7 to 9 October on the Zoom video. And the third one, editorial board of the Soil Atlas of Asia. We delivered many information of this issue about the soil classification map of Iraq according to WRB. As you see, the map of the soil classification. Although many deliver many files, shape files of this issue. Attend the third additional board meeting of the Soil Atlas of Asia held between 7 to 10 July 2020, and we will be contributing in a fourth editorial board meeting of the Soil Atlas of Asia, which will take place from 24 to 27 in this month. About Pillar 4, I think the most important thing is about international network of salt-affected soil. Some review of this network, which was launched during the Global Forum of Innovation for Marginal Environmental in Dubai last year. The concept note of a global samples of salt-affected soil, the key message, and the technical manual of on mapping of salt-affected soil. And there is a virtual meeting of Salinity to discuss finalize the document of a global on soil-affected soils. This network, the mission of this network, support and facilitate joint effort towards the sustainable management of salt-affected soil for food security, agriculture sustainability, and climate change adaptation and mitigation. And this network mentioned it, Dr. Roland from GSP on the webinar, which do with collaboration with ICBA, and I will be attend this webinar about resilience agriculture in saline environmental under changing climate. Thus, this is the same thing about this sustainable management of this network. The objective of this network provide a platform for countries with the salt-affected soil to discuss common issue, foster collaboration among these countries, serve as a platform for knowledge sharing and technical cooperation of salt-affected soil management. We joined this network on 31st August this year and nominated a focal point who this expert who developed, produced our national soil salinity map. Our national soil salinity map, we produced it initially after participate in the global soil salinity training on November, on 28 November to 3rd December last year, which held in Tunis. And this is the initial map. Then we finalize and deliver our national Iraqi soil salinity map after modification and continuing with the expert from GSP. And this is the finalized soil salinity map. We are under publishing a small book about black soil classification uses and challenge with calibration with our national member of ITPS and GSP. Main activity under Pillar 5. This is we did many questionnaires related to laboratories after we nominated some experts of this network. Questionnaire about national activities monitoring for Iraq lab content, general information, and information on the procedure we are using, implemented the method of soil analysis for method we are already used for measuring total nitrogen by using kildare, measuring phosphorus, electrical conductivity in water, and so on. Value of global soil partnership submit in March this year. NENA soil laboratory network of the harmonized on available phosphor, mineral nitrogen by colorimetric method for nitrate and ammonia. And the answers with correction and note submitted on August this year. Health and Safety Laboratory, and upon the participated in this network, carefully analyzed the PT result. We are already submitted the data of this global network team asked to give assessment of the process and lab analysis performed, as well as how to help our laboratory in terms of training. The answer were submitted in in April 2020. And we attend some virtual meeting this year, meeting for soil spectrum measurement protocol group, which had been take place on May 22, and the 8th Global Soil Partnership Plenary Assembly. The decision had been held on from 3rd to 5th June this year. Webinar on implemented of International Code of Conduct of the Sustainable Use and Management of Fertilizers that was held in May this year. Standard protocol and scheme for measuring soil spectroscopy first meeting that was held in June this year. Second of standard protocol and scheme for measuring soil spectroscopic working group that held in July. Global soil laboratory a plenary meeting on spectroscopy discuss and improve its work plan on September this year. Third meeting of standard protocol on scheme measuring soil spectroscopy working group on October this year. And the fourth meeting that was taking place from 11 to 13 this month. And another activity, establishment of Iraq Soil Laboratory Network, include 70th soil laboratory in different ministries and universities, as you shown in University of Baghdad, of Tikrit, in Ministry of Agriculture and Ministry of Science and Technology, beside of University of Anbar, Diyala, and Wasat. Another activities, we review the global assessment of soil pollution as a reviewer in editorial board for the FAO, UNEP, WHO soil pollution report through a chapter setting the sense main soil contaminants and their fate in soil environmental source of soil pollution, environmental health and economic cost of soil pollution, global trend of soil pollution, and regional state of it, action of tackle soil pollution, and the path ahead. We attend many virtual meetings and its relation to, I think, to the pillar of the GSP about the collaboration on promoting quinoa, which is some forage, the forage which tolerate soil salinity, to meeting. And the webinar, as I mentioned it, with collaboration with ICBA and with EXAD about soil salinity also, and the virtual meeting for 1st, 6th, and 5th of June this year with FAO. Illustrate the impact on agriculture and food security, the impact of COVID-19 on agriculture and food security. And thank you very much for your attention.
Many thanks, Iman. It was very informative. I saw that you did a lot. So now I would like to pass to Jordan Mahmoud Al-Frahat. Again, I don't have your presentation. Mahmoud, are you with us? Mahmoud, Jordan, I don't see it in the list of participants actually connected. So I move to the next country, that is Kuwait. So Mr. Shabira Shahid, the floor is yours. Would you like to share your screen, or you prefer us to share it on your behalf? Kuwait.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
Perfect.
So I will share the screen now. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, and we can see your presentation. So the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I would like to thank you, all of you, for giving the opportunity. This presentation was prepared jointly by Dr. Hana Bures and myself. Dr. Hana Bures is a focal point person as well with me. My name is Dr. Shabir Shahid. I joined the Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research last July 2019, and before I was the senior salinity management scientist in ICBA for 14 years. So I established the Center Analytical Laboratory in ICBA in Dubai. I worked there for 14 years. So my presentation is very, very simple. It's only a few slides. Pillar number 1 from soil management practices. We started soil research a long time ago, but since I joined KISR last year, so we focused on something like, really very applied research so that we can transfer the technology to the farmer. The soil survey of Kuwait was completed in 1995 to 1999 and using the USDA specification, USD NRC, and a country level soil map was published at 1 to 100,000 scale. And then we selected 200,000 hectare area, which had the high suitability for agriculture and we did the soil survey for 200,000 hectare area using 1 to 25,000 scale at the 4th order level of the USDA specifications. Using the soil map, we have prepared more than 20 soil thematic maps from land use planning point of view. The second activity is the restoration of terrestrial ecosystem. So there will be a lot of area in next 4 to 5 years will be revegetated with the native plants, because the rangelands have been degraded due to high aridity and so many other reasons. So the project has been approved by the United Nations, and they will be implemented for the next 4 to 5 years, and many million plants, native plants, will be vegetated in the deserts. The third activity I started is the salinity mapping of crops and vegetable farms. We have about 3,500 agriculture and crop farms. They are using brackish water, saline water, and they do not know the information about the groundwater salinity and the soil salinity. So I have presented a proposal to the management so that we can do the salinity mapping of all agriculture and crop farm. And based on the soil salinity and groundwater salinity level, we are going to zonate different crop zones so that the farmers, they can use the salt tolerant crop varieties according to the soil salinity and the water salinity levels. So all the farm will be given as zones of different salinity levels. The fourth program, which I have started recently, is the Integrated Soil Fertility Management Program. It's a 5-year project already approved with funds. The whole idea for this project is that we have a lot of agriculture waste coming from the urban landscape, from the agricultural farm, and the most of it is going to the landfills. And we have very scarce urban land in Kuwait. So in order to secure the urban land for the future generations, in order to also have environmental protection, to reduce the landfill, we have this project that we are going to use all sort of agriculture waste and will be converted into resource like compost and the biochar. And using biochar, compost, animal manure, fish manure, we are hoping to prepare almost 10 organic and biofertilizers from using this one. So ultimately, the focus is zero landfill from the agriculture waste point of view. I will give you more detail in the next few slides. I have only 6 slides. And the last one is the official membership of the Global Soil Partnership, GLOSOLON, and International Network for Salt Factor Soils. In addition to that, we have already launched the Kuwait Biochar Initiative at the national level. It has been officially approved. And we have registered to the International Biochar Initiative as a sustaining member officially. Pillar number 2 about the awareness raising, as I mentioned, that Kuwait is a very young country, from agriculture point of view. If we talk about from the soil research point of view, we have launched the Kuwait Biochar Initiative last year. It has been established for recarbonization and soil health improvement program because the soils are very low in organic matter, hardly there is any organic matter. So we have to rebuild organic matter into the soil. And the compost and other organic fertilizers, they lose their carbon dioxide very quickly, like a short period of time, but the biochar can stay over 100 years and more than 1,000 years. So we are going to build a different organic fertilizer, which is based on the biochar. So the Kuwait Biochar Initiative, as I mentioned, it was launched last year officially, and we have registered with the International Biochar Initiative as a sustaining member at 2019. Most of the activities will be like the newsletter. We'll publish quarterly newsletter. We hold the workshops, farmer days, organizing training programs for professional researchers, farmers, and the students. We'll also offer the training program to the internship to the university students, and also we'll attract a lot of students to visit our KBI facilities. For the last 2 years, we have published 2 papers. First paper is about the wind erosion control. It was a simulated wind erosion tunnel experiment. And we found that using biochar, this specialty chemical, can actually reduce wind erosion. And this was published in the International Soil and Water Conservation Research, which is Q1 journal paper. The second paper was also on the biochar activity, and the addition of biochar has actually increased 60% biomass production in alfalfa. So this has really given us very promising results so that we can further research on biochar in future. From the World Soil Day point of view, last year I have given a very comprehensive lecture on December 8th to celebrate the World Soil Day. However, this year, because of the restriction on the public meeting, we cannot do the gathering. So what we are going to do, we are going to have like a one-page flyer and put all the information about the theme of the World Soil Day, and we will distribute through the emails. That's only what we can do at the moment. From Pillar 3 soil research point of view, for the last 2 years, we have really thinking very deep how we can promote soil research program in a very systematic way in Kuwait. So, as I mentioned earlier, that we have been able to attract a huge amount of funds to implement integrated soil fertility management program for food security. And the activities are recycling agriculture residue to beneficial resource like compost and biochar and different organic and biofertilizers, production of engineered organic biofertilizer, production of compost and biochar, tested greenhouse and open field. Before going to the field, all these prepared organic fertilizer will be tested in the laboratory and for the greenhouse experiments before going to the open field. So once we select the really potential biofertilizer, then we will go to open field, and then we will technology transfer to the farmer. So we will teach the farmer through training program, through workshop, through our visits here. We will train the farmers how to produce compost and biochar and different organic fertilizer using the agriculture waste. And finally, our target for this project is at least we can save 25% fertilizer, 40% water saving, and double productivity, which is very ambitious objective, but we hope to achieve the objective by the end of 2024. The second systematic plan, which we have really started, is the salinity mapping of all crops and vegetable farms. So each farm, 3,500 agriculture farm will be visited personally, will be investigated about the root zone crop zone salinity and also for the groundwater salinity. And ultimately the salinity map will be established at 0 to 30 centimeter and 0 to 60 centimeter. And based on the soil salinity level, we will divide all the farms, giving a unique color for each farm, showing the different salinity level and what crops are potential crops which can be used for these particular farms. So this way we can provide the guideline, the protocols for the farmer, the flyers in Arabic and English and Urdu in many languages, so that the farmer can really know that how much salinity is in their farm and which crop they can use it with certain management practices. Kuwait Soil Information System regarding the information and data sharing. As I mentioned that in late 90s, Kuwait Soil Survey project was completed, and we have like 5 published reports, and in parallel to that there was a GIS-based soil information system. So all the information collected from the field, they were entered into the GIS system, and which is very interactive system. So we can access the information, we can retrieve the information, we can add more information. It's a very dynamic system. So this was established as a part of Soil Survey of Kuwait, late 90s. In addition to that, there was a soil database management system. We can retrieve this information for land use planning. We published more than 20 different soil and thematic maps like irrigation suitability, rangeland, clay, gypsum sources, carbonate, land uses. We have like a very well developed 5 volumes of the report. So what we did, we published 200 copies of 5-volume report and the CDs, and we distributed to all potential stakeholders in Kuwait, and also give them training how to use the soil information, because it's a very complicated taxonomic point of view. So we give them very handy training, so that they can really use the soil survey report for the land use planning and for policy implications. Pillar number 5, harmonization. We have registered our soil physics and soil chemistry laboratory to the Grow Salon. And when I came last year, I joined KISR. I came to know that the laboratory analysts, they are using SOPs, like, standard operating procedure, which is very loose and, they can be lost very easily. So what we did, we compiled all these SOPs in order to prepare 2 manuals. So we have now published 2 manuals, like methods manual for soil chemistry laboratory and method manual for the soil physics laboratory. So all the methodology which are relevant to Kuwait, they have been encapsulated into 2 manuals. And also now we are exploring to our accreditation for the laboratory for the ISO accreditation as well. And we have been also contributing to the harmonization of the different procedure which we receive from Glossoland, like total nitrogen by Kelda, pH, EC, also and sustainability method, total nitrogen, like this one. So this is just the beginning of the story of the soil research in Kuwait, since I joined last year. So I tried to compile all the information from different sources, and I did the gap analysis. What has been already done in Kuwait and what has not been done. So we do the gap analysis, and we came out with the two conclusions that we have to develop two separate programs. One is integrated soil fertility management program from sustainable point of view, and then also the soil salinity program. And last but not least, I just want to share with you that a book was published in 2018 in collaboration with the IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency, with Dr. Zaman, and I was also co-editor with this. This very handy book, and I can share the PDF book with all the participants. Another book was published on soil salinity. It was published in 2014, and when I was in the International Center for Bioscience and Agriculture. And this book has been downloaded more than 140,000 times from Springer Link. So very highly demanding book. I urge you to please consult this book. It has a lot of information about the soil salinity assessment, mapping, remote sensing, GIS from many countries, from Iran, from Saudi Arabia, from all the countries. So last but not least, I have also started a proposal on the National Soil Museum of Kuwait. Because I'm not sure in another country, but as far as the information I know, that almost in all urban countries, I don't see any National Soil Museum. So I started a National Soil Museum in Dubai while I was in ICBA. So I'm proud to say that if those participants who are really visited ICBA, International Center for Bioscience and Agriculture in Dubai, they must have visited the Soil Museum. And I'm very proud to say that I am the creator and the founder of the first soil museum in the whole Arab region, which is at ICBA now. This has been created by me for the last many years. Anyway, I was retired from ICBA last year, and then I rejoined Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research, and I really now offering my experience I have gathered from the last 40 years, mostly in the soil survey and mapping and the soil salinity from the point of view. So as the time will go, we will add more information about this. But the good point is that we have really good support from our Director General, from Dr. Samira Omar, and they're really pushing to work for the soil because the soils are degraded, very loose soil, wind erosion is very high, so no organic matter in the soils, no aggregation. It's a very infertile soil. So I hope with these two projects, which has already been funded, on the soil salinity and the integrated soil salinity management program, we are going to package the technology so that we can transfer the technology to the farmers. It's not like research for development, no. It's like applied research program we are going to accomplish. With this, thank you very much. Thanks for attention. I really appreciate for your careful listening to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shabir. It was very, very interesting. I would like to invite all participants, if they have questions to any presentation, to please write the question in the chat so that we can answer the question and provide the information. Sure. Now we go back to Egypt. Egypt will be the next one presenting. Filippo, will you play the presentation for Mr. Ala?
Okay, don't try.
Mr. Ala, are you ready to present? Egypt. Mr. Ala El Babli, we cannot, yes, maybe now your microphone is on. Can you please try to talk?
Yes, welcome everybody. And yes. I'm going now to make a brief discussion about that presentation. The presentation is not including the practical. This is national updates on soil by Saweri, practical researches, but no limiting between the pillars for each job of Saweri, because we dealing with the landscape, mostly deal with the landscape. So we make some example about our activities. So, national updates on soil for maximizing the use of land and water resources. This is our main job in Egypt, to save the water and to maximizing the use of land.
Mr. Ala, I'm sorry, we cannot see your presentation.
Huh?
My understanding is that you send it to us, or you are playing it from your screen. We cannot see it.
Yeah, we are trying now.
Is it clear?
So, disappear now?
No.
Try.
But
Below the box with the images of participants, there are some icons. There is one next to the chat. Is we can share the screen.
Okay, we will try again.
if not, please notice that I sent you an email with the, well, if you can send it to us and we play for you.
Okay, you sent it.
Just 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I would like to ask all presenters to please be brief, maximum 10 minutes each, because we still have many presentations to go through.
So we can make it by chat. Yeah. خلينا تقول اعمل بريف يعني.
Okay, you can.
هقوله من البرزنتيشن نفسه. So I will just explain what side. We're trying now to make a spotlight about our main objects in Egypt and through Siweri. We always like to maximizing the use of the land and the water resources. So we make a delineation, for example, to make a line between the pro-delta and the delta apex to find what is the best management in Egypt, which is different from the pro-delta than this one of delta apex. So we make adapting the irrigation system for saving water surface irrigation in pro-delta, but drip one in delta apex. So the reasons is for pro-delta have thermic temperature regime comparing to delta apex, as mostly have hyperthermic temperature regime. So loss of water by evaporation is less from this pro-delta. Soil hydraulic conductivity also, the values in pro-delta are low and very low, while in delta apex are mostly high, which drain more water without use. Enhancing the efficiency of the added nutrients uptake in the root zone, as well as reducing the loss of these nutrients that most probably are drained to contaminate the ramifications flow of water canals in delta apex. Drip irrigation for crops of high value for national economy, such as cotton and maize, or for economical cash crops, such as vegetable and fruit trees. They are adequate as raw crops, individuals, and as trees. Also, protecting the pro-delta from the seawater intrusion, feeding the semi-restricted storage of underground water in the substratum of River Nile pro-delta using surface irrigation. So we make a management for the crop use to maximizing the production also. So we introduce crops to be S1 for surface irrigation in the pro-delta, but the other one as drip irrigation for the delta apex. So we have to make rice in the pro-delta, but sometimes we make a trees in the delta apex. National update on soil monitoring land degradation impact on ionic agrobiodiversity. The case study was in Siwa in the Western Desert, because Siwa should be considered as a cultural landscape, as well as to be protected, being reflect the interaction and interaction between indigenous people and their natural environment. The case study aims to update the spatial land, the level of land degradation in order to reduce its impact for improving environment conditions, increasing the productivity level to improve the social and economic status, protecting the agro biodiversity in Siwa oases as example of these oases in Egypt to be highly required. So we make a catching up the physiographic feature as if affected by waterlogging in the years 2019. So we find that the lakes increased as a spatial geographic distribution, and also some land degradation occurred for the main trees of olives and date palm. So we make a recommendation for this job. Unconstrained expansion. We have to make uncontrolled expansion of surface irrigated agriculture accelerate bonding and waterlogging on its unique agrobiodiversity. So we have to make a control. Frequent data for monitoring the land degradation should be based on tracing the directions of water flow and its infiltration in the cultivated area and their outskirts. Ecosystem stability and protecting natural resources should be realized by a better governance of its water and land resources. For successful improvement and irrigation system modification, collecting small land tenures within large site field is highly required for realizing a commercial scale. In case of temporarily keeping the traditional current cultivation under surface irrigation, cultivation expansion must be conditions to be managed under drip irrigation in aeolian plain in the sandy soil. So, national updates on soil for tracing promising areas. This is one of the main job of SIWERI for multiple land use in paleo drainage delta in the Western Desert. So we make slices of this paleo drainage delta for different land use to maximize the use, and we find in the middle of this delta the region of rice belt, olive belt cultivation. And in the end of this value delta, we delineate the depressions which can be filled with water to make a mega generation of electric power. This is the main point of SIWERI in brief discussion, and still more, but we find it to be as a brief in this case. Thank you. We will send the presentation in details because, sorry, because some defect happened.
No problem. Many thanks, dear Ala. And again, we are very happy to have you in our NENA family and team. We are looking forward to receive your presentation so that I put it on the website and everybody could access the information in it.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Now I would like to give you the floor to Iran, that my understanding is that it's ready to present. Mr. Mirzavan, are you with us now? Iran, I see you, Mr. Mirzavan. The microphone is still off.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very nice to hear your voice again.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. I started the country presentation of Islamic Republic of Iran.
So you will share your screen, right?
Mr. Ismaili, share it. Mr. Ismaili, can you share it?
So you want us to play the presentation for you?
Yes, Mr. Ismaili, let me chance.
Okay, so Ismaili will share the screen. Oh, Filippo is sharing it. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, the floor is yours.
It's okay. Yes, Mr. Ismaili, would you please next?
National GSP of Iran established in 20, excuse me, I have a problem. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, thank you very much. National GSP of Iran established in 2018. And Deputy Minister activity followed the of vitality of soil to the national development sustainability through the 3 steps of cognitive phase and normative phase and regulative phase. 2 main strategic goals in the regulative phase of institutionalization were successfully concluded in 2020. Established a General Director Office for Soil Affairs and Soil Conservation, altering the National Soil Protection and Preservation Act by creating experts team and getting the approach through the Parliament. Next, Mr. Ismaili, next. The activity of Pillar 1. Pillar 1 has been established by the team of 5 expert members and so far has held 3 international meetings, holding the meeting with other stakeholder organizations, including the Forestry Organization, Soil Conservation and Watershed Management Research Center, provided a national Pillar 1 program within the context of GSP, regional and global Pillar 1 program. Presentation the national Pillar 1 program between 16 and 1928 in the national work towards sustainable soil management. The report had 6 important subsections covering all issues of soil priority. Next one. Pillar 2, launching public awareness radio and television program on the importance of soil resource for sustainability and resilience. Preparing of school textbooks subject related to soil for different school age children. Inclusion of GSP topic, in particular VGSSM and soil charter in our annual soil conference, which bring together all the soil field experts, specialists and university professors. Preparing the guidelines for Soil Protection Act of the country with passed the Parliament approval in 29. We will also emphasize on the role soil biodiversity play on the soil, water, energy, food, and climate nexus and pathways to sustainability. We will also hold extension activities and administer a couple of national competition on soil biodiversity and its nexus, and other activity in progress. Next one, Mr. Ismaili. Pillar 2, developed the Soil, Water, Atmosphere, Energy, Food, and Climate Change Nexus Workshop, developed the MRV workshop, discussion on including of soil MRV in the national MRV framework, development and submission to GSP of a proposal for development of global soil and soil nexus research and development database, initiation of proposal for regional collaboration on defining regional adaptation, mitigation, co-benefit project related to soil and soil nexus within the climate change context. Completion of the architecture and structure of National Soil Information Database, completion of digitizing of legacy soil data, global soil map, specification have been consulted for digitizing and compilation of data for 18 million hectares in 3 different scales. Legacy soil data harmonization for uploading to the National Soil Information System, developing application for loading failed soil data from soil profiles, and optimization of soil classification in progress. Development of soil organic map using 46,000 point soil organic carbon point in the compilation in my country, starting the compilation of national soil salinity map. And pillar 4, creation the national network for connection to the global laboratory network, cooperation in harmonization laboratory method in national, regional, and global level, upgrading soil laboratory standard of operation in the country, conducting workshop expert training session for the staff of soil laboratories across the country, identification of conservation conversion factor of the harmonization of different laboratory data in the line with the national, regional, and global soil data integration frame. It is the main activity of the GSP, National GSP of Iran, by 5 pillars in my country. Thank you very much for your attention.
Many thanks, Mr. Mirzavand. Many thanks indeed. I would like now to give the floor to Lebanon. My understanding is that Fatima will present, but she might have problems to display her presentation from her screen. So Fatima, do you want us to play the presentation for you? Lebanon.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Fatima.
Hello, Mr. Lucrez. Thank you very much for your kind cooperation all the time. And before I make my presentation, I should thank Dr. Talal and my colleague Ralph for their contribution to the presentation, which is short, not a very big presentation, as you know. Okay, can you share my screen?
Yes, Filippo, can you please share the presentation of Lebanon? Perfect. Fatima, the floor is yours.
Yeah, okay. No, Wait. And the main activity implemented in the country and the pillar one, first, we have to promote the sustainable management of soil resources for soil protection, conservation, and sustainable productivity. As you know, the Ministry of Agriculture in the 5-year strategy plan for 2020 to 2025, it has 5 main objectives. Within that objective, we have the first objective is restoring the livelihood and the productive capacity of the farmer and producer as well. And the second main objective, increasing agriculture production and productivity. For this objective, our pillars, the Ministry of Agriculture set the frame for the implementation of this objective. Can you move this? It doesn't move. No, it cannot move. Can we go to the next slide, please?
Yeah, just move it. Is the next one again?
Yeah. Next one, can you please? No. Yeah, the next one. Promote the target soil research and development, focusing on the identified gap and priorities and synergy with, which are related to productive environment and social development activities. 2 main objectives of the Ministry of Agriculture were developed from 2020 to 2025, enhancing the efficiency and the competitiveness of agri-food chains, value chains. Second, improving the climate change adaptation and sustainable management of agri-food system and natural resources. Can we go to the next one? Next one, please. In the pillar 4, enhance the quantity and the quality of soil data and information, data collection, generation, analysis, validation, reporting, monitoring, and integrated with other disciplines. The soil database of the CNR has been updated with the new soil information derived from published national and international reports. The new national soil salinity map, which was developed in Tunisia from 0 to 30 centimeter depth last year, was produced with the assistance of GSP in 2019 in Tunisia. National soil data are being successfully integrated with a model on the impact of climate change and desertification, land degradation, and disaster risk reduction in different agriculture and economical assets. Next one, please. Next one, please. In the pillar 5 of activity, the harmonization of method, measurement, and indicator for the sustainable management and protection of resources. Last year, with the help of GSP, the Lebanese Agriculture Research Institute, LARI, is become a member of Glossolan for the laboratory soil network. LARI, in this aspect, LARI harmonized the national method for the soil sampling and analysis and cooperate very well with your organization for the recommendation delivered to the 5 laboratories located in the 5 government in the Lebanese Republic. This will help to assessment, the entering of the laboratories, the official laboratories. It will help us in the assessment for monitoring of soil fertility and productivity that can reduce the excessive applied chemicals and become perfect for soil for groundwater quality, to protect soil water quality. For what we are going to do in the World Soil Day, it may be planned to organize a national online workshop on protection and sustainable soil management. The stakeholder will be involved, the academic also, and the farmers also, they will be invited. This will be planned, but yeah, very soon it's gonna be planned. A new national agricultural strategy for Lebanon is from 2020 to 2025, already announced. And the new strategy for the coming 5 years already on the website of the ministry. So you can find it in detailed description of all activities related to soil conservation technique issues. The new strategy highlights the sustainable, you can see from the strategy later on, it will highlight the sustainable soil management in one or pillar of action, and in other pillar of action also it includes land conservation technique and increased production and productivity as well. The new coming strategy highlights the importance of the reduction of fertilizer by around 10% to 10%. To reduce soil pollution that comes from fertilizer and misuse of pesticide as well. Next one, please. Next one, please. Now, I will give you the list of the ongoing project with in cooperation with FAO with regard to soil. Oh, let's sorry. Strengthening the national afforestation and reforestation program in Lebanon, planning, implementation, and monitoring reforestation from 2015 to 2017. Promotion of livelihood and employment through investment in land reclamation and water reservoir of sustainable water management practice from 2016 to 2019. Support small and medium male and female farmers to increase their income through land reclamation. Another project, promotion of good agricultural practices, including integrated pest management to reduce agrochemical pollution in the upper Litani Basin from 2017. It's an ongoing project and still will be continue until 2021. The objective of the study to reduce the pollution from pesticide and fertilizer in Caron Lake. Upgrading the technical agriculture education, it's very important to sustain soil management by educating people, and it's this project from 2016 to 2019 is addressed to the youth and the school teachers and private sector and the employees in working in agriculture to raise awareness on food security. Next one, please. What are the national needs that can be summarized for futures? With the integration of public soil laboratory, it's important to highlight the need to support a sound fertilization program or research work based on leaf and soil analysis together with the pilot farm is a major demand, because we need a very sound fertilizer program to be addressed to the farmer and to develop their skills and their need in all agroecological zone in Lebanon. Also, there is a need to study the actual soil fertility and the carbon stock necessary to maintain the production and enhance the capacity of production in Lebanon and for continuous and sustainable soil production. Thank you for your attention.
Many thanks, dear Fatima.
Thank you for
we now move to Morocco. Actually, let me say that, well, you already noticed we are a bit late on the agenda. Are you available to stay, let's say, half an hour more? Yeah. If not, please write it in the chat. I'm very sorry about it. We have many things to tell each other, as you can see. Okay, if nobody is against this, I move to Morocco. So Rashid Moussavek will present as representative of the country. So Rashid, the floor is yours. Let us know if you want to play the presentation for your screen or you want us to do it.
Please do it, Lucrezia, if it's possible.
Okay. Filippo, please, presentation from Morocco.
Good morning, colleagues. It's nice to see you and to hear from you. While this pandemic situation obliges us to work online, but I hope that everybody are in safe, and will share with you the major achievement that we done under Global Soil Partnership in Morocco. I resume this presentation under the 5 pillars of our Global Soil Partnership. Please, next slide, if it's possible. So just for Morocco is a country around 7.2 million hectares. We have around 36 million population. About 50% are urban area. Next slide, please. What is important is agriculture is an important sector in the economy. We have 40% of labor force is in this sector, and this sector, increase our GDP sometime until 20%. So the average is 50%, but sometimes is more. Next, please. Filippo, okay. So rainfalls, we have, different agro ecosystem, and based on this rainfall distribution, you know that we have some mountain area. We have also Sahara, and we have desertic, but we have 0.5 million hectares under irrigation, and around 6 million hectares for rainfall situation. So total area is around 9 million hectares for as arable land. Next, please. Unfortunately, we don't have more suitable agriculture land available in the country. We are already reaching the plateau. As I said, we have 9.9 million hectares, around 9 million hectares. But sorry if this don't show this the figure in below. But we have some reduced number of the land that are available by person. It reduces year by year due to different problems related to land degradation. And now we have 0.5 hectare by person, which is low compared to other region. But this situation is start to be more difficult due to some land degradation like erosion, salinity, and other nutrient depollution. Next, please. One issue, I think it's concerned not only Morocco, but many area and countries in our region is the climate change. You know that we will, as many scenarios of climate change showing that we will receive less than 20% in terms of water. And also we will have an increase of temperature around 2 degrees to 4 degrees. So last report developed by IPCC in this kind of climate change, 1 degree or will have a great impact on crop production and also on terms of soil productivity. Next, please. So under this challenge, I think this GSP and the 5 pillars could be like driven to mitigate and to be adapted to this climate change issues and also to resolve the problem of land degradation in our country. I will present here the major achievements of this year. Next, please. Filippo, next please, if possible. First pillar, pillar 1, sustainable management soil resources and improved global. Next, please. So we have now under one project that we just finished recently. We have around, sorry, I have some, I come back, just 1 minute.
The pleasure of teleworking.
So sorry for this, advantage to be an online meeting. Sometimes you receive some visitors. So
don't worry, Rashid.
I just said that we've just finished one huge project for the country, which is to develop soil fertility maps in Morocco, 4-year project. And now we are trying to promote the use of this soil fertility map to farmers. We handle 8 million hectares. We also collect more than 36,000 samples analyzed. And now we are working with farmers to use this platform as, to be advised in terms of using fertilizer in the country, to increase the, to use this fertilizer reasonably. Next, please. So this is the, just to show some slide on how these soil fertility maps are now used in the country. I give you just one example. In the past, we heard a lot that Moroccan soil have enough phosphorus and also enough potassium. But based on this recent work, we find that no, it's not true. Some area, they need more potassium than what expected. You know why? Because farmers are in the past just based on this, statement, they only use phosphor fertilizer and they don't add potassium. And year after year, the amount of potassium that was in the soil was declined. That's why some regions now need to add more potassium if they want to increase their productivity. And we also developed some algorithm for spatial variability and statistical analysis with some researcher on this area. Next, please. This is also one region that in the past it was known as a region we don't need to add a potassium, but now based on this work, as you said, some region mainly in the east part, you need to add potassium, and farmers now understand why their production was declining last year. Next, please. For pillar 2, where we need to encourage investment and technical cooperation, when we heard this FAO-GSP project for regional area of NENA, we reached the Minister of Agriculture and we get the support letter from them. I think within this TCP, it's good to set up some activities, not only for Morocco, but for all regional countries to be in harmonized way of developing our region. We also coordinate, we are now in preparation of one project with FAO to implement this code of conduct in the country. And we involve Moroccan private companies to raise some funding for this issue. As you said, it's good to have some action plan, but also you need to raise funding for that. It's very important for our region. Another, we participate in 3 national webinars about conservation agriculture, how to use this way and management to increase the soil organic carbon. Just for your information, based on the soil fertility maps, we find that more than 60% of our Arab land have less than 2% of organic matter, which is too low. So when we discuss why one major reason is this deep tillage that we use in our system, and I think with this we need to promote this soil organic carbon management, and one of these technologies is conservation agriculture. Now, just last year we have a private sector work with us to develop this CA in the country as sustainable soil management. We reached about 2,000 farmers. It's a very successful work, and there are also very damage and drastic situation because it was really a drought year. But farmers who adopt CA have doubled yield compared to those who just use the conventional system. We have some paper on that and also some press release. We can share it with you later. Next, please. For pillar 3, to promote soil research, you have just to know that in Morocco, we have what we call it a new next strategy for next decade for agriculture sector. And for the first time, for this next strategy, INRA Morocco will coordinate a new program called Soil Conservation, which is a very important issue because in the last decade, it wasn't stipulated like this in the last strategy. But now, when we shared the data and also based on this GSP, I think this is something that we need to congratulate GSP on it. The Ministry of Agriculture now recognize the role of soil, and now we have this what you call it program on soil conservation that will be included in our strategy for next 10 years. So in Morocco also will start a new project on soil health indicators based on our fund. It will be for next 4 years, where we will do a lot of work in terms of, soil carbon management and soil health indicators, which is very important. Under one initiative that Morocco launched during the COP22 in Marrakesh, we call it AAA initiative, African Adaptation to Agriculture. INRA and other partners proposed two concept notes to promote soil health in the country, on the region, and I think will reach FAO collaboration to develop some activities on this issue. Next, please. Okay, for Pillar 4, enhancing the quantity and quality of soil data information. Just for your information, we recently have funding from Moroccan Agency for Oasis to launch a new soil fertility mapping in this area, Oasis area, which is, we don't have any information, or some information are very sporadic. This area was, can I say, unmapped. And now, based on this fund, we will have this soil fertility in this area of Oasis region in the Morocco. It's about around 100,000 hectares. Next, please. For grassland, with Pillar 4, we try and we to work with our colleague Zouahri, who is elected to lead NENA Lab, to develop a plan of work and to help him to harmonize method and measure at national level, because we know we have many labs in Morocco, as the the same I think for other countries, and sometimes some labs, mainly private labs, are not in the way of harmonizing things. But I think grassland is a timely initiative that can help and can support to develop this, can I say, harmonization method and measurement for indicators. For grassland spectroscopy, we also reached our colleagues in a new university in Morocco. We call it University of Mohammed VI Polytechnic, where we have what we call it Center for Soil and Soil Spectroscopy Lab. And we work together with Joint Soil Lab, INRA and ICARDA, to develop like a champion lab to promote the use of spectroscopy, not only in the country, but also in NENA. And I think for that, we will give support to our colleagues in NENA region who will want to use spectroscopy, and also to work together with GSP in this issue, which is really helpful and will be used in our region in coming years. Next, please. Maybe it's the last. I think it's the last. So sorry for my inconvenience. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Rashid. Indeed, that you mentioned something that eventually we will talk about tomorrow, and it's the identification of regional champion laboratories on soil spectroscopy for the region. And
okay.
As you mentioned, yes, you will work with the U6 University, right?
Yes.
And you are candidated actually for your institute for the position of regional champion laboratory. The procedure in this case is that I will send an email to all national focal points for information and NENA Lab members, so the members registering Glossoland from the NENA region, with the it's a kind of form in which the commitment of the candidates for taking the position of regional champion is stated. So you will hear about me, about this from me very soon. I'm finishing up to collect all the information on the candidates for the position. But in NENA, indeed, we have only one application, that is that of Rashid, that is writing together with the other institutes. So they will work together. Now I would like to move to the next country, that is Oman. We don't have a presentation in this case, but Mr. Hamad Al-Douli will talk. So will tell us about what they have been doing in Oman on the topics of soil. So, Mr. Aldouli, the floor is yours.
I hope the sound is clear.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, fine. Thank you all. And today is our National Day. We are celebrating it. So just to share with this. And then for all of the activities being done with soil partnerships, I appreciate it all. They seem there is many points, and I could only tell something about what Oman is participating in all of this. I could tell that there is a colleague is now nominated for organic carbons, and there is also another colleague is also nominated for the soil salinity or salt-affected soils. In addition to that, I would like also to briefly tell that there is many efforts being done before. Previously, something with FAO, I could hopefully show you some things that there is plenty of the maps being conducted about all of these works. There is a big project with FAO being conducted from 1990 to 1997 that included putting up a general soil maps. I hope that is clear. Okay, and there is a lot of integrated study for soil being conducted for many areas in Oman. I could later on share you later on when it is coming up to the officially approved our Oman profiles, where you can see that there is plenty of work being done. And then here also you can see something they call it soil maps. I hope that you can see some of those. So I only want to share you that there are plenty of work being done before. Something like also we are working with ICBA to make what they call it soil salinity strategy. So hopefully with the new coming activities here, then Oman will be a good partner in all of these cooperations. And I hope that we are highly appreciating all of, many things here are highly interesting. I'm looking forward to be a partner of all of this. This is all about doctor programs, soil affected soil, and all of the activities being working there, all about the capacity buildings. We are looking forward to be partner on all of this. So hopefully I have not that much thing to do and say here, but I could tell you that I'm looking forward to be partner in all of this. I'm personally a water guy, not a soil, but there is a team behind who can hopefully be a good. Is it clear? Hello?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, then I'm done. Okay.
So thank you so much. And also thanks for being with us despite the national holiday. We really appreciate it. And I'm sorry that we organized it during your national holiday. Next time, please tell me so that.
Not at all, not at all. Okay. No, not at all. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks to you. We now give the floor to Palestine. Imad Gadma. Imad, the floor is yours. Would you like to share your screen?
Yes, I will try to share my screen. Hello, Lucrezia, and everybody in the meetings. It's nice to meet you, even by Zoom. Okay.
We cannot see your screen yet.
Do you see my presentation now?
Now, yes, yes.
Yes?
The floor is yours.
Okay. Many thanks again, Lucrezia, and my colleagues in NENA area. Actually, I'm going to talk about updated soil survey projects and activities in Palestine in 2019 and 22. Again, I will start my presentation from this soil maps. This is to confirm that up to now in Palestine, we don't have a national soil survey. Actually, we still use the Israeli Soil Association map. The raw data up to now, we couldn't obtain this data regarding the soil in Palestine. In 2014, under Global Soil Partnership, we convert this map up to WRB 2010. So here I would like to, again, to thank Dr. Darwish from Lebanon, who helped me to achieve this assignment. The main activities implemented under Pillar 1, actually, we have several ongoing projects. I will here mention only 2 projects. The first one, land resilience and resources management. This project started 2019, and it will continue up to 2024. This is mainly funded by IFAD and by Ministry of Finance here in Palestine. Actually, we have 4 components under this project. We have a land development program. This year, we reclaimed more than 500 dunums. 500 dunums mean 50 hectares. Under land reclamation program, we reclaimed 60 hectares. Also, we have a component regarding conservation agricultural programs. Here we have 616 dunums in 3 locations here in Palestine, 1 in the north and 1 in the middle, and 1 in the north, in the south part of West Bank. Also, we have what's called Wadi Rehabilitation program. We already rehabilitated more than 400 dunums. The main issue of Wadi Rehabilitation is to make a water harvesting and to stop soil erosion under water. Also, we have another project. It is totally funded by the Ministry of Finance here in Palestine. This project is called Land Threatened of Confiscation by Israeli Occupation. In this project, we are targeting the land which is close to the settlements here in West Bank. These 2 pictures, actual, this picture regarding the wider rehabilitations and the techniques used to conserve the soil from erosion and to water harvesting within soil profile. This picture also regarding the land reclamation in the mountain area to increase the agricultural land. This picture also under the second project, kind of land reclamation and rehabilitation. As you see, it is very close to the Israeli settlement here in West Bank. The activities under Pillar 2, actual under promoting conservation agriculture, improving soil quality. This component done by me, and the 9 meetings with the farmers aim to explain the encourage. The encourage to use conservation agricultural practices, which include minimum tillage, maintain crop residues, crop rotation, and other conservation principles. Also, under Wadi Rehabilitation, we conduct 6 meetings with the landowners and the farmers, explaining the importance of soil conservation and to stop soil erosion by water. Of course, this is pictures of our meetings. This meetings was actually in the beginning of this year. This is before COVID-19 pandemic, and this is actual in this workshop conducted in June. This is with conservation agricultural farmers. Also under Pillar 2, we had a training course for 5 days in sustainable land management and WOCA database and documentation were conducted in Palestine on last October, actual in 2019. Targeted 22 participants from MOA and related NGOs. who actually working under land sustainable management. The training was conducted by Dr. Dale Daniel from FAO headquarters. I think you know him well, Dr. Daniel. What we are going to conduct in 5 December in the World Soil Day, actually, we are planning to conduct many meetings, decentralized meeting with the farmers and extension agents will be conducted in several agriculture directorates to explain the importance of sustainable soil and land management practices for increasing soil healthy, fertility, and productivity. Actually, in the past years, we used to conduct a centralized meeting here in the ministry in Ramallah, and the Ministry of Agriculture, to introduce the importance of soil to the decision makers. But this year, inshallah, we are going to conduct these meetings in the different locations. Of course, videos and the brochures will be distributed for the participants. Meetings with media, mainly with radio, introducing the importance of soil and water, soil and World Soil Day will be in 5 December, inshallah. Actually, under Pillar 3, 2019 and 2020, we conduct 2 studies. The first one titled Development of Land and Water Resources in the southern area, in Hebron area. The total area of the study was 68 square kilometers. Detailed soil survey were conducted in addition to land suitability, and soil erosion risk map also were produced in this study. This is the location of the study, which was conducted, as I mentioned, in the southern part of the Western Bank, and the West Bank. Actually, the methodology used to conduct the soil survey for this area is WRB 2014, as we request from the NGO who conduct the soil survey. This is the map, as I mentioned. The used reference word WRB 2014. This map, the observation were conducted in the area, and this is the output of the soil type in this area. Also, the second study was land suitability assessment. The main objective of the assessments are to define soil properties for the new irrigated area in order to select a suitable crops and irrigation system, and to manage the soil and sustainable to maintain soil quality and to increase farmers' income. The studied area is around 4,000 dönum, funded by GIZ and implemented by 2 local soil experts. Again, these 2 pictures regarding the soil type in the selected area, and the land suitability classes in the area. Again, also in this study, we used WRB 2014 as a base or the main methodology to conduct the study, or the soil classification. Under Pillar 4, the Land Research Center project team carried out 288 observation. It's around 40 soil profile and 248 soil augurs. Of course, all the data we have it now, and I already merged this data with the previous one in soil database here in Palestine. For the second study, actual 27 soil profiles were studied in details to conduct the suitability study assessment. Also, under Pillar 4, Palestine was participated in the training course for the salinity mapping, which was conducted in Tunisia in December 2019. I think this is not clear enough, but this is the data sheets and which was used from the NGOs and from the soil expert who conducted the study area in the both studies area. Under Pillar 5, Palestine was participated in NENA lab meeting with two main representatives or nominated labs, one governmental soil lab, which is belong to the National Agricultural Research Center, and one to the private lab, which is followed to Irrigated University here in Ramallah. Of course, other university labs will join the NENA soil labs and the global soil labs network, inshallah. Thank you. Many thanks, Lucrezia.
Many thanks for this presentation, Imad, and for all the hard work you are doing. Actually, we have 4 countries left that have to present because Saudi Arabia is not with us. They did not register to the meeting, and I cannot find Hezam from Yemen in the participants list. You want to continue with these countries or we continue tomorrow? Big question. Because we are late and I'm very sorry about it. So if you don't say no in the chat, maybe I give the...
I agree with tomorrow.
Sudan is here.
Sorry?
Sudan is here. Sudan.
We continue, yes, Sudan. Mr. El Mubarak, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
You will be sharing your screen, right?
No, I'll share my screen.
Okay.
Where is it? Can you see it? No. Yes, yes.
No, not yet.
Not yet?
No.
Share. It's not, you cannot see it, huh?
No.
No?
Eventually, Filippo, can you please share the screen, the presentation?
Okay, can you share the one you have?
Yes. Here we go.
Okay, thank you. This presentation is being prepared by me and my colleague, Dr. Noha, on Sudan soil, about the soil activities being carried by the Land and Water Global Soil Partnership. Next, please. Hello? Next, please. Hello. Yeah, the main activity implemented in the country and the pillar 1 is that we have the Great Green Wall, which is being implemented by an African initiative, which is dealing the countries in the Sahara and Sahel region of Africa, and part of it. We have also implemented the Sudan Soil Information System and the Soil Map of Sudan, which is part of a technical cooperation program between Sudan and FAO. Through this, we have identified and describe our soils, soil resources, and ensure their sustainable management. We have also another project promoting sustainable natural resources management in Sudan. This is being for pasture and agricultural lands where they affect the livelihood of the people in the eastern region of Sudan, which is being, I think, an initiative between the IGAD countries. Supporting the small-scale additional production producers in the Sinnar state is also another project being funded by IFAD. The project is the goal is to reduce the rural poverty and increase food security and income and the livelihoods of about 20,000 households in the Sinnar states. Next, please. This project is also funded by IFAD. The next. Under Pillar 2, the activities, we carried many World Soil Days, and this year we have another one. We also presented some lectures on the importance of soil as one of them is soil and its role in our life. We presented here to the research community in the Accredited Research Corporation of Sudan and to people outside in another club. The Soil Doctor Program, we also propose it to be implemented by the Technology Transfer Section of the Accredited Research Corporation to transfer this knowledge to farmers in the region. The implementation of the Sustainable Soil Management Protocol and the guidelines for the Sustainable Soil Management, also voluntary guidelines also being implemented, and have a national management. We also ask the Technology Transfer Section to use the Code of Conduct for fertilizer use of fertilizer industries in the country for the sustainable soil management of our soils. Next, please. In the main soil World Day, we will proposing to have on the 5th of December next month a meeting on the soil biodiversity to be presented by a colleague here from the Genetic Natural Resources Center on soil biodiversity. And we have also a diverse soil, which is also could be reflected in the biodiversity of the soils of Sudan. Next, please. The activities under implemented in the country and the Pillar 3, we have here in the Land and Water Research Center that can research on land evaluation, where we map soil properties, and we reduce soil property maps according to this, we reduce soil stress maps, we reduce soil condition maps. Soil property maps are pH and so other properties. Soil fertility and plant nutrition. This research is being carried by a section here in the center to promote the field yields and promote farmers' field yields. Water management is also to improve the soil use efficiency and increase the soil water productivity. Soil reclamation is also another activity by the center here, which is to improve ecological conditions of the land, claim the aquatic soils, especially in the northern parts of the country and western parts where there are some areas affected by wind and salinity and so this. Next, please. Next. The activities here is to enhance the quality of soil data. We are part of the soil closest soil. Sudan soil information system was developed as an operational now and could be accessed through the internet. Also, we will publish Sudan Soil Atlas and Sudan Soil Catalog will be published soon by the FAO also here in Sudan as part of the activities of the technical GSP between us and the FAO as a whole. And also, we have also quality of the data here. We carried so many training sessions here in Sudan PI through this the technical cooperation program and with other global soil partnership parts. In this part, we have pillar 5, we have the soil, we are part of the global Sudan, and we are part of the soil as TCP, we are part of the global Sudan and the process, and also as NENA partnership, and we're also part of the NENA lab group. We attended so many training sessions.
And Mubarak, we cannot hear you anymore.
Laboratory. We are in the process of making our national soil laboratory network, and we are also carrying some activities of standard operation procedures. Our lab is actively involved in the activities of the GLOSO, LAN, and the NENA lab as well. Next, please. And I think this is the last slide, and also will be, this is my last presentation here as part of as a national focal point, because I'm retiring this year. And it's nice that I met you all and hope you success in carrying over the soil partnership pillars at the national, international level and the regional level here in NENA, and I will no longer be part of the NENA soil partnership. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Al Mubarak. I'm sorry, your microphone was not working properly. We could not hear you clearly, but you said that you will not be with us anymore? You are leaving the NENA soil partnership?
Yeah, yes, I'm returning this year, by this year, and I'm going to nominate another colleague, my colleague Dr. Na, I think will be carrying over, and I'm returning this year. So, but it's nice that I met you all, and I hope you all success in this.
So you're getting some deserved rest and vacation during your retirement. So thank you so much on behalf of all colleagues at FAO, the GSP, and also I believe in the NENA Soil Partnership for your support over these years. You will be much missed. Thank you so much. So now we move to Syria.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Al Mubarak.
Hope you all success.
Thank you. So now it's the turn of Syria. Manal, the floor is yours.
Hello, Lucariza.
We can hear you.
Yeah, hello everybody. I will share my presentation, my screen. Now I will talk about the Syrian National Team for GSP achievement during 2019 and 2020. About soil management, sorry. About soil management, in the field of soil management, we are classifying lands in Syria, and now we started in Damascus countryside government. We started these works and these jobs by classifying the soil around this area. Also, we are taking care about fertilizer recommendation, and now we are updating this recommendation and aim to conserve soil health. Also, every year about Pillar 2, every year GSP team in Syria celebrate on 5 December World Soil Day through a scientific symposium concerning with soil and its sustainability. And for raising awareness in soil, we participate in media, much media, such as TV, radio, journals, and social media, especially Facebook. And also we published in Pillar 2, we published many books to raise awareness in the importance of soil analysis methods, fertilization, soil salinity, etc. And also for Pillar 2, for awareness raising, we had workshops in the last year and this year, especially even during the COVID-19 problems in Syria. We continue in this point workshops and courses, also by collaborated of ICARDA, ACSAD, FAO of Damascus, UNDP, and WFP, and National Institute. About Pillar 2 also, we implemented many projects in field of natural resources assessment, also by collaborated with FAO Damascus. For Pillar 2, we are continuing to translate education materials into local language, and recently we had been translating SOPs of soil analysis. So it's continuous work. Until now, we translate these SOPs. About policy briefs, all of you know that we did these policy briefs, especially, three policy briefs. The first, regional challenge and salt-affected soils, and soils and green water. About Pillar 4. Pillar 4, yes, Pillar 4. We participate in soil salinity map, and I think it's very important step in Syria to do such this map, especially it become as international lab. So Syria participate in this step, in this event, and now we have a salinity map in Syria for all Syria, and I think it's very important work and achievements by collaborating with GSP. Also, we participated in ASEAN Soil Atlas. The board will be solely, I think, after 2 days or more. I don't remember the date. And Pillar 5, harmonization, GCSR or GSP team in Syria national team participated in the first meeting to launching NENA lab. My colleagues from Lab of Damascus and Lab of Al-Qunaitara and Lab of Aswaida and Lab of Latakia, Lab of Homs, all of them participate in this meeting. All of them participated in this meeting. I think 5 labs participated in this meeting, and we have now 9 labs is active. All right. Pillar 5 also now we are following new procedures and glossolan modification on analysis methods. In addition to these methods in our labs, but we will change these SOPs to harmonize with glossolan methods. Also, we reviewed the drafts of new harmonized methods from glossolan. And now 9 Syrian labs joined the glossolan. All of them is very active, all of them. And currently we are preparing to join a new lab in northeastern of Syria, Deir Zor Governorate, where we have rehabilitated this lab. We provided 5 case studies to GSP about soil pollution. It's polluted by heavy metals, by wastewater, by sludge, by town refuse, compost. And we provided case study about soil, about town refuse from waste for our colleague Reham. And thank you.
Many thanks, Manal, and sorry for getting you to present so late. We now move to Tunisia. Leila, it's your turn. Leila, we cannot hear you yet. Tunisia. So we have only Tunisia and United Arab Emirates left. If we cannot connect to Tunisia, maybe we can give the floor to the United Arab Emirates. Also, Bayan would also welcome to present tomorrow morning.
I think Leila is there now. Leila comes now. Leila, ready?
I'm here.
Okay, now we can hear you.
Okay.
So, would you share your screen?
Yes, I will share my screen with one. How can I process? This one.
Yes, perfect.
Okay.
So the floor is yours.
Okay. Good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening. So for the first pillar, the main activities implemented in this in Tunisia, it's the main achievement of the SSLM project is the identification of sandy organic amendment as best practices for sustainable soil management and its implementation. Implementation in Oasis system, especially in Kibili, in the south of the country, and its registration in the Agriculture Subsidized Journal. The second one is the implementation of tools and method of salinity, hydromorphy, and fertility monitoring system in the management of water and soil resources in the irrigated area with a view through the good soil fertility management practices under two projects, PIAT, which is Projet d'intensification des terres agricoles, financed by Banque Mondiale, and PVPI, which is valorization of irrigated area, financed by the BAD. And the third one is the contribution of the implementation of IPON, which is good. It's okay. The third one is the contribution of the implementation of IFPON inventory, which is the National Inventory of Forest and Rangeland and Olive Tree. And it's a national assessment. Our contribution consists in a national assessment of soil organic carbon for the implementation, appropriate forest and pastoral and olive management practices. The main activity under Pillar 2, the organized field school for farmers are impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, and the most sessions are postponed given the context. This process of assistance try to disseminate composting techniques by encouraging farmers to moderate use of mineral manure and improving the capacity to valorize organic farm waste, and also the creation of a small business on composting station. The Awareness Day under themes the effect of SSM techniques on soil biodiversity and its chemical and physical and chemical properties was postponed to 25 December in Zarouane in the northeast of the country. In the Pillar 3, under the Pillar 3, we can present two actions of piloting the use of sewage sludge with the cooperation with the ONAS, our National Sanitation Office, and the waste olive oil industry, Margin, in the collaboration with the Olive Institute, in order to review procedure manual and to have data and tools to adjust standards for those use. Under the pillar 4, we can note our participation in the update of the agriculture map project, which is the pedologic map with the CPCS classification. So, oops. Voilà. And the third elaboration is the risk salinization map in irrigated area, and also the salinity map we had submitted in the global soil, global map salinity soil. And also in the fourth pillar, the organization and participation of training on soil salinity mapping in the global soil salinity map, which is held in 28 November and 3 December. And we can also we noted that our submission of LAO letter for support for the request for a technical cooperation project, TCP, Dijecta and Direction Soil with the FAO for setting up Tunisian National Soil Information System, NCST, as a decision-making tool for sustainable land management. We also noted that the activation of system CSOL, which is a database for monitoring indicator of soil salinity in irrigated area. So, and the third, under the fourth, the fifth pillar, we note that undertaking program tours for upgrading and accreditation of the Central Laboratory of Soil Water Plant Analysis, LCAS, so in soil direction, DGACTA, according to the ISO 17025 version V2017, which is dealing with capacity building, standardization of the method, ensure the quality of analysis in order to meet the need of farmer, researcher, and facilities, and the implementation of quality management system. The last one is the noted that our participation in different activity of Grossland and Roseland. And thank you. Good.
Many thanks, Leila.
Yeah, speed.
Yeah, I'm sorry for rushing you.
Yeah.
My question now goes to Bayan. Bayan, do you feel like presenting now so that we finish your country presentations?
Yes, sure, Lucrezia. I can't present.
Okay, so sorry. So
no problem at all. Last but not least.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I have a message here. You cannot start screen share while the other participant is sharing. Okay, you need to stop sharing your screen first.
Yes, perfect.
Thank you very much. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it. You can go ahead. Thanks.
Okay. So good morning or good evening, wherever you are in the NENA region. Many thanks for the and the Global Soil Partnership for arranging this meeting. This is my first time actually attending this meeting, and I am really delighted. I am really impressed by the magnitude of work being done to protect land and soil and to manage to manage them sustainably. And really many thanks for every one of you for the real informative presentation that you have presented. Today, inshallah, I will present the environment agencies, Abu Dhabi Environment Agency's efforts in protecting land and soil in the UAE. And actually, AED, or Environment Agency Abu Dhabi, is the competent authority in Abu Dhabi Emirates, the capital, for the environmental protection. To start with the pillar number 1, actually under this pillar we have many initiatives, but I would like to highlight these 2 initiatives. The first one is Soil Salinity Management Plan that we launched last year celebrating the World Soil Day. AED conducted a 3-year soil salinity survey between 2016 and 2018. The survey included more than 4,000 farms and around 16,000 soil samples assessed for soil salinity. The main outcome of this survey was the development of the Soil Salinity Management Plan, this book that I'm sharing here with you. Actually, the main purpose is to manage and reclaiming salt-affected farms. Actually, as mentioned by many of you, soil salinity is one of the, or considered one of the main challenges facing in agriculture in UAE. The second, I need just to manage my screen here, okay. Okay, the second initiative is Abu Dhabi Soil Archiving Facility. Actually, we established this archiving facility in 2016 to benchmark with the international standards and provide vital information about changes in soil quality over time. The facility currently stocks around 5,000 preserved soil samples. These soil samples they are managed through geospatial database and linked to AED soil database. The facility has the capacity to store more than 25,000 soil samples under controlled optimal condition to preserve their scientific values. And actually our plan for the coming 5 years is to create the region's first soil spectral library using these valuable soil samples. Under the second pillar, also I would like to highlight these 2, let's say, strategic initiatives. Actually, Abu Dhabi Environment Agency, it is a strategic plan 2060-2020 made ensure sustainable and integrated approaches to protecting land and soil one of its strategical priorities. And under this priority, we have 4 strategical objectives. The first one is to strengthen policy and planning framework around soil. The second one is to improve and enforce regulatory framework for soil quality. The third one is to ensure comprehensive understanding, knowledge, and awareness about soil. And the last one is to play an effective role in ensuring land contamination and management. And during these 5 years, we, let's say, conducted a lot of activities and initiatives to fulfill these strategical objectives. Here I will list the activities, or let's say initiatives, to fulfill the first 2 strategical objectives related to policy and regulatory framework. In 2016, we developed Abu Dhabi Soil Contamination Guidelines, which set the soil contamination screening levels in agriculture, industrial, and residential land use. Also, we conducted a special investigation to assess the background levels of metals in soil. In 2017, we conducted a proficiency testing program with Abu Dhabi Quality Conformity Council, and also we conducted soil contamination. We enforce the implementation of the soil contamination guidelines within our permitting system, within our environmental studies, and let's say enforcement system. In 2018, TGD for assessing contaminated site also has been published and developed. Currently, we are developing soil protection regulations and policies, and hopefully by 2021, we will be able to publish them. In terms of outreach activities, actually AED is keen to create knowledge about the importance of land and soil through using our social media and participating in different events such as ADHEX. Actually, ADHEX is a governmental initiative that aims primarily to promote sustainable hunting, environmental and cultural heritage, and we participate yearly in this event to promote the importance of protecting land and soil. Okay, what will your country do on the World Soil Day? Actually, Abu Dhabi Environment Agency celebrates World Soil Day annually. And this year, AD will celebrate by launching the UAE soil map using WRB, the World Reference-Based System. This year's event will be under the patronage of His Excellency, the Minister of Climate Change and Environment, and will be used to promote IAD's effort in protecting land and soil to its attendees from UAE and from the Gulf Cooperation Council, the GCC countries. And actually this year we are also delighted to have members of FAO in this year's event as speakers. And please allow me to invite you all to attend the event. You are all welcome. Actually, we will celebrate on the 7th of December because 5th of December is a holiday here for the National Day. And I can send an email for you to invite you to attend. It will be our pleasure. Under the third pillar, actually, targeted soil research and development, actually AAD showed interest in land and soil before it was set as a strategical priority. In 2009, AAD conducted Abu Dhabi Soil Survey project, which is considered one of the base projects that classified the soil of Abu Dhabi based on the USDA soil classification system. And actually the success of this project in Abu Dhabi caused it to expand to the other Emirates. And this project resulted in a huge database and many thematic maps from soil suitability, soil salinity, soil type, etc. And please allow me to mention that one of the people that led that project is Dr. Shabir. He is present today with us and in this event. Hello there, Doctor. It is really nice to see his name among the audience. In 2015, we conducted a research project, let's say a survey to assess soil salinity in agricultural area. For this project, the one that I mentioned earlier, in 2016, we've developed Abu Dhabi soil contamination guidelines after benchmarking with more than 13 international standards. And we conducted the initial soil contamination investigation also, as I mentioned earlier. 2017, we did PT program with the QCC and we assessed some industrial area, يعني المصفح industrial area, one of the old and let's say big industrial area in Abu Dhabi. 2018, we started our first round of soil quality monitoring program, which is our core research initiative and source of data. 2019, we conducted the second round, and 2020, we are now conducting the third round for this monitoring program. And we also launched a pioneer project using drones and AI for soil quality assessment. I will elaborate more in this slide. So I would like to give a brief on the main research projects of the soil section. The first one is Abu Dhabi Soil Quality Monitoring Program. Again, this is the third year into this program. It is the first soil quality monitoring program to be ISO certified in the NENA region level. The main goal of this program is to assess the impact of man-made activities on land and soil, resources to provide the base for future land management, plans, protection, policies, and soil-related regulations. The second initiative, it is the soil quality mapping using drones, artificial intelligence, and remote sensing. Actually, this project is being undertaken to greatly improve the accuracy and efficiency of the soil contamination monitoring and management using latest in remote sensing and AI technology, using the hyperspectral images. So the project uses hyperspectral sensors mounted on drones or satellite hyperspectral images to map the level of contaminant using AI. And currently the project is in the pilot stage and the results seem to be really promising. Under the fourth pillar, actually AD on a large database for all its environmental component, including soil. Actually the online information system, the soil, let's say, database, we have a huge soil database. This system displays all the maps produced during EAD surveys with the powerful functionality of allowing user to view particular location of interest and extract data related to all the map units and observation site described during our surveys. And here, this link, you can access, let's say, this online information system. It's accessible publicly. And under the fifth pillar, actually, to standardize our work is very important because the data generated from our monitoring program is the base for many important decision, policies, and regulations. So as I mentioned earlier, we were keen to conduct a proficiency testing program to ensure that the labs are well prepared to provide dependable standardized results. Moreover, these labs are periodically checked by Abu Dhabi Quality Conformity Council. And again, to standardize our monitoring program, IAD sought the ISO standard and achieved it in 2020. I think that's it from my side. Thank you for listening, and hopefully it was not too long.
No, thank you very much, Bayan. I'm very sorry that we rushed you. So this was the last presentation for today. As anticipated, we had a few countries that are not attending the meeting, or that actually I do not see them in the list of participants. These are especially Jordan and Yemen. I will try to make contact with the national focal point for Jordan and Yemen this afternoon, and eventually they will present tomorrow morning. Tomorrow we will talk about new proposals and activities, of course, for the region, for the 5 pillars of action of the GSP. But most importantly, we will talk about the project on soil that we got, the regional TCP. We will have the leading technical officer to introduce us to the project, and please already prepare your questions in case you have any on how to implement the project and how to use the resources available. So I'm very sorry we are very late. This was not planned, but I thank you very, very much, and I hope to see you tomorrow at the same time. So we start at 10, and inshallah, as you say, we hope to finish in time. So have a very good day and afternoon, and I see you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow, inshallah.